Carey, who's from not not saying you like it. Stuff to do with like the friend that we're definitely going to be talking about life.
Thank you, Marty and Fred, for organising this. This is a really great opportunity to be here, so thank you very much. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing with some of the growth that's occurring in Melbourne. This is a really interesting space to watch, to see the house in the city of Wyndham, one of the fastest growing municipalities in Victoria, and it's kind of that with all the trees down, and we know the streets after. This is roughly our population in Melbourne. It's cleared quite quickly. I think we've just hit 5 million. I think someone in Melbourne might be able to confirm that for me, but yeah, we are certainly growing at a fast rate. City of Wyndham grows at about 12,000 residents per year. This red line here, back in about 2009, was the urban growth boundary as part of Melbourne 2030. And basically that little point there was my house, which I now own 32% of. This is what's happened here since 2018. So the urban growth is, so this is really what we're seeing as far as the application of public lighting standards in Victoria. An international ratio of street lighting, roughly, one street light per 10 inhabitants. So we can sort of forecast how many lighting points we're going to see grow over the next, as population grows. Just in that area, we're sort of estimating an extra 3,000 to 4,000 lighting points that we have, just on street lights. I'm just talking street lights, not the retail lighting that get added to the environment. I think as an industry, as a lighting industry, we automatically assume that we've got to apply lighting, and so it's really starting to concern me that we're not asking some basic questions. This is using the from say 2013. This is using the light pollution map, and we can clearly see that that urban lighting creep is occurring with development. This is where we are now in 2018. Where it is growing at a really fast rate. Cheap land, and we're just creeping into basically, I sort of foresee, right to the end of Geelong, within 20 years, it'll be all suburban. So the question is, how do we actually change our lighting if our building practically continue to grow, if this urban growth continues to go? How do we actually change our lighting practice? And so to do that, I was given by Kevin Polton, who's been in the lighting industry quite a long time, an old copy of the 1964 Code of Public Lighting. Within that code, it was a rewrite of the 1939 standard, which acknowledged that there had been a significant improvement in road design and car headlight technology. And now was the time to exploit these major improvements in technology to reduce cost. And it was all contained within their standard. And then the other thing that they said was that the best conditions for driving around at night are with your headlights off on an illuminated street. So, and I thought, well, this is interesting. This is sort of some of the history into our standards. And could, is there opportunity here to how we could maybe exploit our current standards? There's sort of elements of it. So, as I was saying, as the industry, I think what we've done is we've automatically assumed with the tables, the minimum standards, that's what we've got to design with on every road, where we're not asking the basic questions of what is You know, we've got to acknowledge, and Peter brought it up, you know, in his research on Brisbane, you know, lighting is for the standard that we've seen is lighting as pedestrians. You know, but we're still lighting the road. We're lighting that road reserve, but we're not really thinking about how we actually really lighting pedestrians. You know, and you know, it says within the standard, this is within the text, this is the boring stuff before all the tables. You know, that says that, you know, motor vehicle traffic is present at the location, the headlights are used. So again, as a lighting industry, I think and with councils, we're saying automatically that there's got to be lighting, whereas I think we need to pare it back a bit and see how we could possibly use the standards to help councils by not providing lighting, or to the current practices that we currently got at the moment. The other thing, there's no public interchange in these new subdivisions. There's footpaths. Cars got headlights. We have to, you know, Victorian government puts about a $320 control measure on making sure you use your headlights. Why are we still lighting the roads and drive around without headlights on? So what it did is we said, well, okay, let's look at an area within one of these new subdivisions. So well, let's just put one street. Now, since 1964, our lighting design software has improved as well. We map the assets to get an understanding of this subdivision, which sort of falls somewhere in here. We start mapping it out, and we can start from the model reflected light. With modern software these days, we can build the buildings in, add in reflectors, so that we can start to understand what is the reflected light of these areas that we're starting to look at. And so this is just an example of how we can start to study what that reflected light might look like. I said, well, look, maybe what we only need to do is maybe illuminate only the potential vehicle pedestrian conflict zones, so the T intersections. Maybe we could look at that as a design solution. Employ the use of bollard lighting instead of lighting the road. And so combined with that, maybe only lighting up the pedestrian vehicle conflict zones, which might be driveway, using low-level bollard lighting, we're reducing that sky glow by 77%, as an example. You know, maybe in the future, you know, with these new houses, we will see solar panels, and we're looking at batteries. Maybe public lighting to a council may no longer be public, a local council cost. So in essence, every new household is responsible. Here we've got RCDs, safety switches in new houses. Maybe we've got a bollard out the front that's responsible for the pedestrian lighting. And so suddenly the cost to local council is also reduced. So these are some of the things that I think we can start to look at with these advancements in technology. You know, we've got to start to properly assess likely nighttime usage. We need to we have this software to measure reflected light, and so we need to incorporate and improve the design aspects of road lighting. Unfortunately, I believe road lighting in Australia is being dumbed down. You know, we've basically got civil engineers, or we can do a 3-day road lighting course and then go and do road lighting. That's been the practice. And spit it out here, but make an automatic assumption that you've got to light a space, and so we design to that minimum standard. If we start to employ people that are associated with the Illuminating Engineering Society or IALD, you know, they've got qualifications in lighting, we can start to maybe lift the importance of lighting design back into road lighting. And I think, look, we can agree that headlight technology has significantly changed since the 1964 DH Holden. And so therefore I think we need to bring those studies forward into our current standards to identify more opportunities to reduce costs. Because I think we've got a responsibility for our next generation. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. My question is, in that discussion around street lighting, is there ever a discussion around speed? Because presumably if you reduce the speed of the cars, they don't have to be able to see as far, so therefore, the lights will be adequate, etc. Is that ever part of the discussion?
There's certainly those studies that have occurred, generally for major category B roads, so the major arterial roads, that's more of a concern. But a lot of what we're seeing in the urban growth creep is really for 50-kilometre-hour streets, so it's really not the speed of the car is not so much a major issue.
More questions?
It's not so much a question as perhaps something that might give advantage to you, in that in the state that's north of you and you're currently standing in New South Wales, right? But in Sydney, I'm just having a pick. In Sydney in the late 80s, they chose an experiment where it was almost, the industry was aghast that you should do this. They fenced off a section of road where you come off the bridge down over towards Manly, and you go up over the hill, and they built this short section of expressway. It's a main, it's a category B road. They fenced it off and they provided no lighting. The predictions were that there would be horrendous problems. They never occurred. So a few years later, when they changed the road lighting going from the CBD out to the airport, and they did all of this underground, changed everything, existing lighting that went from the end of that cost to where major roads joined, which was all lit to the standards. They made sure it was all fenced first, and they removed everything. And once again, no accidents occurred. But the difference between that and what you're talking about is that they had fences which eliminated pedestrians. But we are talking about higher speeds. Yeah. But the thing is that you can use that as an example to say just by removing them doesn't mean to say that you want to make it become a
No. I think there's a real opportunity for us to maybe even partner with, a property developer that are doing this and to show them the difference between, because a low-level bollard lighting for a subdivision hasn't been done. We've not seen it. And it would be great to have that occur to see what the feeling is to live in a place like that.
Do you think it's because ultimately the person that carries the responsibility is the authority, regardless whether it's the energy authority?
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, but I think we've got an opportunity to also show them these parts of the standards. To, when was the last time a council said what is the likely nighttime usage of this area? And we're not seeing it. And I think if we can give council some sort of risk-based assessment process that says, yes, we've applied an appropriate duty of care to say, okay, we really don't need lighting in this area. I mean, the current design practices that we currently do at the moment, I think, are just blatantly unsustainable. We can't continue to see what we're doing now. I mean, that area I know very well is not a public transport infrastructure. There's no major railway. So why are we still lighting the road as if there's going to be no? Everyone drives in Melbourne. Everyone drives home into their garages, into their houses. We're not seeing hundreds of people walking the streets. So why are we? Yeah. So it is for me. I'm just asking some big questions.
This isn't to do with light, but I was horrified by your streetscape that there was no yards or trees or natural air conditioning.
No, there's not. And that's what I'm saying is sometimes it's worth going to these new growth suburbs because this is where we're seeing the application of these building codes and these standards happening at a rapid rate. 12,000 people shifting into that council every year, you are seeing a massive change in landscape.
Yeah. There's no community.
And there's no community. No. This is where people are living.
Any more questions? All right, well, let's thank Adam.